Hi everybody, Dave Yelovic with Homes Built Right. We're talking about attic stairways today. Lots of houses have them, and guess what? A lot of houses, they're not installed properly. Let's take a look. This is what you might see up in your attic. A simple attic stair might have a pull-down string, might have a loop up here, a hook that you pull down, but this is what we're going to start with. Most importantly, whenever you're looking at an attic stair, make sure it's tight along the edges. You want that to be airtight, no gaps, and no air escaping from the attic into the house. So this is what it looks like. Let's take a look at the details. Fire rating. When do I need a fire rated stair? If it's in a garage, you need a fire rated stair to protect the opening that goes into the attic. Normally you'll see a sticker somewhere on the stair that says it is fire rated. If it's in the house, the door itself will have to be insulated to some degree. If you have a tent up in the attic, an insulated tent, that's one thing. But these stairs are made, you can get them in R10. I know I've seen those. It's a good insulation value for an attic stair. But again, if you're in a house, it has to be insulated to some degree. Check your energy code to see what your climate zone requires. Installation instructions. I found these out in the trash in the box on a job site that the attic stair came in. Now, Marwin is a big manufacturer of these things. I don't care who you use. I just found this one, so I'm using it. But there's many manufacturers that make these things, but make sure you follow their installation instructions. But one thing that I like to point out is probably this thing. Each manufacturer gives you a fastener schedule or a little map where to put things. They will all say that you have to use 16 penny nails or 3-inch lag screws. And then they say per their little diagram. In this particular instance, the manufacturer has 12 fasteners, and you can see there's 4 along the back, and there's 2 in the front, 2 on the side, and then 2 in each pivot plate. They're kind of unique in that little situation. Now I included another manufacturer down here because they're a little different. They've got 1 each in the pivot plates, but then notice they've got 6 along the front of this thing where it pivots. So that's a little bit different. They've got the same 4 across the back. So here's what those 6 look like. So let's take a look where they're at. We've got the 2 in the middle. So these are lag screws. They could be 16 penny nails. We've got 2 in the bracket up front, and then we've got those 2 on the side. So there's our 6 lag screws on the front of this aluminum stair in this case. Now on the side, this is a typical pivot plate. This is the manufacturer that shows 2 fasteners in the pivot plate. So there's 2 16 penny nails in this situation. Now, one thing to point out, wherever you have a fastener, just like a door frame into a rough opening in the regular part of the house, at the structure, it's a rough opening. So you're going to have a gap between the structure and the frame of the attic stair. So you've got to shim it so when you crank down on the fasteners, the frame of the attic stair does not bow outward. Let's just look at the hardware. Where the hardware is, that's where our joints are going to be. These joints are nice and tight. This is what you want to see. If these were open, there were big wedges in here, something's wrong and you have to go from there. While we're talking about these brackets, make sure the nuts and washers are always in place. They work themselves loose from time to time, and you want to make sure as you're using it, make sure they're in there so things don't fall apart as you're going up and down the stair. Now, we've talked about the bracket, and here we've got fasteners, but talk about air sealing. What the heck is that? We want to make sure if it's in a garage, you don't have to worry about this, or a conditioned attic where you have spray foam. If there's hot air up in the attic and there's conditioned air down below, we want to seal up the gaps between the structure and the frame where the shims are. So we want to make that air tight. Yes, we can make this gap go in. We can seal that up with spray foam, but what about here along the edge? Some manufacturers put weather strip along their frame. Some do not. If it does have it built in, make sure that the attic stair is engaging it and it's sealing tight to prevent the air from leaking through. If it doesn't come with one, you can go to the hardware store, get some sponge weather strip and install it along here. And then when the door shuts against it and the stair closes, it will be nice airtight. Make sure we seal the air up here and that we get an air seal here with weather strip on the bottom side. That's it, attic stairways. I hope when you look at an attic stairway, you'll be a little more discerning. Is it right? Is it wrong? And look for the details. They're in there. I'm Dave Yelovic with Homes Built Right. I hope you'll subscribe to our channel. We'd love to see you back sometime. So long, everybody.